Okay, this one should be quick. Here's hoping. I know the last one was a bit long. I'm sorry for that. Okay, where am I? I need this page. Okay, so we're taking a look just briefly. You've learned this before. This is just a quick recap. So for temperature, for water boiling, we know that in Celsius, it boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Whereas for Kelvin temperature, that is going to be 373 degrees. I'm curious if you've already caught on to how you find Kelvin temperature. If you hadn't already looked below, all you have to do is have it where you are adding 273 degrees to whatever temperature you have in Celsius, and you will find the degrees in Kelvin. So room temperature, that means if it's around, let's say 21 degrees, we know that the temperature in Kelvin is going to be 294 almost 5, technically like 0.4. Okay. Water freezes, that's going to be at 0 degrees Celsius. And then for Kelvin, that is going to be 273 degrees Kelvin. That's going to be the temperature that water freezes. And then for absolute zero, that is minus 273 degrees for Celsius. And that is 0 degrees for Kelvin. All right, now over here, and I'm sorry, I know this looks funny. I have been trying to fix it up before I sent this to you, and maybe you'll have better luck than me. But here, what's going to happen is we have gas particles move in straight lines with elastic collision. And then increased temperature means that it's going to increase the speed of the molecules. And pressure is determined by the number of collisions that molecules have with the sides of the container. Wow, what did I just do? On the side of the, sorry, this is on the sides of the container. Okay, now I see what I did. This is so confusing with the lines. I'm sorry, it's such a mess. All right, so you can even just read this part here. It says, because increased movement requires more space, objects which absorb energy expand. Gases show the greatest expansion per unit of energy absorbed, where liquids and solids show lesser degrees. So you can read the rest of that there. We are going to be looking more at things to do with temperature, thermal energy, all of that in this unit. So this is just like a brief introduction. It's okay if you don't fully understand it right now. For thermal energy, this cool little symbol right here, that is the total energy, the kinetic and potential of all molecules in a body. The actual amount of thermal energy that an object can possess is dependent upon the size, so the number of molecules in that object, and then the chemical composition, the energy that is stored in its chemical bonds. So thermal energy, you have it where for thermal energy, that is going to be the kinetic plus the potential, probably going to want to delete a few lines here, times the number of particles. All right, so that is going to be the formula that you would use to calculate thermal energy. Then you have here all these beautiful, what is it called? Diagram here that talks about the kinetic energy. So we have the kinetic energy, it shows by the long directional arrows going out. So that's the kinetic energy of motion. The potential energy that's stored in the bonds between the atoms there, and that's indicated by these short vibrational arrows. So temperature, that is the measure of the average kinetic energy. So kinetic, oops, I missed a word. Average kinetic energy in all molecules of a body. Therefore, temperature is not dependent on the amount of material being measured. So again, it's okay if not all of this is making perfect sense right now. We're going to delve more into the thermal energy, kinetic energy, heat and temperature, all of that in this unit. This is just to kind of start things off. So have it where you are filling in your notes. I will have a few questions in your homework check. So keep in mind, I do not need you to send me your notes. You do not need to send me your notes. Do not. Please don't. It's for you. But the homework check, please make sure that anytime you see a blue link on the Moodle page, that means you need to click on it. It's a link that you need to follow. And so I will have it where I'll say, click on this Google form to access your homework check. Click the word Google form, because that's going to be in blue. That's going to have the link to your homework check, and you'll fill in the homework check there. If it ever ends up that you realize after the fact that, uh-oh, I missed something, or I need to update my answers, whatever it might be, then you can redo it, and you can even have it where, let's say, if you feel like the first couple questions, you got it, it's good, you don't want to change that, that's fine. You don't have to re-answer it. You could just say, already answered, and then let's say it was question 3 that you wanted to be able to update your answer for, then do that. And then the title for your name, what I want you to do is just put down, like, let's say for maybe Miss Peach updated. That way I know to go to that one if, let's say, again, you maybe figure that 1 or 2 of the questions you just didn't answer properly. You can fix it. Just make sure you are very clear that your updated one is the updated one. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. I will see you later. Thank you for listening to all these long videos.